right, registration is now open for the 2022 Pray Vote Stand Summit. We're going to hold this year's summit at the First Baptist Church in Atlanta, Georgia. Going to have a great lineup of speakers. Pray, vote, stand. It's an important year, and we want you to join us there. To find out more, go to prayvotestand.org/summit. Okay, in a little less than a month, Kansas will be the first state in the nation to have the abortion issue on the ballot following the U.S. Supreme Court's ruling on the Dobbs abortion case that overturned Roe and Casey. Now, when voters in the state head for the polls on August the 2nd, they will have the opportunity to weigh in on the Value Them Both amendment that will defend Kansas's existing pro-life laws and ensure the state does not become a destination for extreme abortion procedures like New York or California. Here with me to share more about the effort is Melissa Ohden, spokesman for the Value Them Both, and she's also the founder and CEO of the Abortion Survivors Network and a frequent guest at FRC events. Melissa, welcome back to Washington Watch.
Good to see you, Tony. Thank you.
It was great to see you Sunday night at Cornerstone Chapel there in Leesburg, Virginia. You did a great job as always. So let's start. Just give us a brief overview of where Kansas is right now on the abortion issue and what this amendment is all about.
Yeah, all eyes are on Kansas currently, Tony. We knew that this was going to happen after the Dobbs ruling came out and Roe was overturned. But it is really an important time for Kansans, and it's important for people to stand alongside Kansans as they pray and really for our nation. Kansas, their liberal activist Supreme Court in 2019 found a, presumed right to abortion in the state constitution. And what that did was put us in this position, Tony, where every pro-life law passed for decades is now presumed unconstitutional. So this is about reasonable regulation of the abortion industry. You know, if you read the mainstream media, and it's picking up every single day, they would tell you that this is a ban, but this is about regulating the abortion industry, whether we have any ability to come to a consensus and pass pro-life laws.
Well, and it's also about who gets the chance, who's going to do this. Is it going to be the court, or is it going to be the elected representatives of the people?
Absolutely. I don't believe that people want people in robes to be making those decisions for the people of Kansas. The power should rest with the people. And even though the Supreme Court ruling, gave other people across the states, in many states, that ability to make that kind of decision, the people of Kansas have not yet been heard, and they need to be heard on August 2nd with a vote yes.
Now, early voting actually starts, I think, in a little over a week, does it not?
It does. We are in a really important time. And as you can imagine, Tony, the mainstream media, of course, is putting out all sorts of misconceptions about what the amendment really is and really what even Roe being overturned means. And so it is really so important for, folks to become knowledgeable and for people to tune in to shows like yours to be given the truth.
So I know we've got a lot of listeners in Kansas. The program pretty much blankets the state of Kansas. So folks, this is an opportunity to let your voice be heard. And as Melissa said, post-Roe, the nation's going to be watching to see what the voters in Kansas, and Kansas, no offense folks, but Kansas, they're kind of quirky on some things. Sometimes they're conservative, sometimes they're not. I'm hoping that on the life issue, they show up en masse and support this very reasonable amendment that simply says what the legislature has done stays, and they have the opportunity to change the law in the future, not the courts.
Absolutely. Think everything from sanitized clinics to parental notification. Those are reasonable limits on the abortion industry that the people of Kansas should be able to come to a consensus with. And so without voting yes, Tony, we are looking at an unregulated abortion industry that becomes a destination. Guttmacher even was putting out statistics months ago saying they were expecting over 1,000% increase in the number of abortions in Kansas. Since 2019, we've seen, isn't that wild?
I was going to say, and that's something that historically Kansas has actually been a destination for late-term abortion. So this is not theoretical. It's very real. And I think this gives Kansans an opportunity to go to the polls and vote, and then they can elect representatives who will take, hopefully, the right position, as opposed to judges taking those positions that are oftentimes beyond the reach of voters. So, Melissa, where can folks find out more about getting information, sharing this information with their friends about the Value Them Both campaign?
Absolutely. ValueThemBoth.com. Follow our social media channels. You know, we've got great ads coming out really showing people the difference between California and Kansas, and medical professionals and others who support the amendment.
Well, I mean, Kansas is in the heartland, and it should reflect those heartland values. And so I hope that Kansans will turn out en masse, pro-life Kansans, and support, again, this very reasonable constitutional amendment. Melissa, always great to see you. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Tony.
All right.